My name is Akinmejiwa Oluyemi Walter. On the assignment given to us, I may, as a teacher, take into account the formal, the informal, and the in-depth curriculum in both my planning and teaching. Let me start with the definition of the curriculum. A curriculum is a planned interaction of pupils with instructional content, materials, resources, and processes for evaluating the attainment of educational objectives. Also, the hidden curriculum is total learning experience provided by the school. It includes the, that content of courses, that is the syllabus, the materials employed, the strategies, and other aspects like norms and values, which relates to the way the school is organized. Let me start with the hidden. An hidden curriculum is a side effect of an education, which are learned but not openly intended, such as the transmission of these norms, the values, and the beliefs conveyed in the classroom and the social environment. Hidden curriculum is the knowledge gained in primary and secondary school settings, usually with a negative connotation, where the student strives for equal intellectual development. So, as a teacher, I must take this in control into account because usually a negative connotation when the school strives for equal intellectual development. Hidden curriculum helps as me as a teacher to reinforce the existing social inequalities by educating my students according to their class and social status. Hidden curriculum helps me in the distribution of knowledge among my students. Hidden curriculum allows me as a teacher to exercise authority. Since hidden curriculum is as a means of social control, it definitely promotes the acceptance of social destiny without promoting national, rational or reflective consideration. Hidden curriculum illustrates the role that school always plays in socialization. Whichever type of curriculum that is adopted, as a teacher, emphasis must be on the needs of the students, the school context, and the statutory and the syllabus requirements, because curriculum reflects the models of instructional delivery, and the psychological classification of learning theories. Let me start with the former. The former curriculum is simply that which is written as part of formal instruction of schooling experiences. It refers to a curriculum documents, the tests, the films, and the supporting teaching material that are overtly chosen to support the instructional agenda of the school. The formal curriculum therefore embodies the learning activities that are planned, that are organized, and implemented within the regular school hours. So as a teacher, I must take this into an account. What are the things that are normally happening during the school hours? How will I teach? I must put all this in consideration in my classroom. What really happens? We have some with bad behaviors. How would I correct that? It must be part of what I will have to put into control. The learning start activities, I must put everything into control. I must plan my lesson very well. Everything must be in line with the curriculum. Likewise, the informal curriculum, on the other hand, refers to the learning experiences adopted from other agencies outside the formal settings, such as the parents, the peers, the media, and the community. Also, as a teacher, I must take the parent into consideration because some students have problems from home. They have parental problems, which I must take into consideration. Some as their peers, they have a problem with, and it's affecting their learning and teaching. So I must take everything into control. Even their community, which community are they from? What are the problems of that community? I must look into that. Like Nigeria, we have many ethnics, so I must know at least a little of those ethnics in my class. I have many students with different ethnics. Let me know the background of those ethnics so that I may put everything into account. Because informal curriculum is sometimes referred to as co-curricular activities. And the last one, hidden. The hidden curriculum provides a leeway for the educators to impress upon students their values, their beliefs, and most importantly, the document cultural capital. The concept of cultural capital is a set of tools and skills acquired through experiences that include the knowledge about know how to present oneself vice versa relation of power. I need to take account the consideration the attempt to expand the understanding of capital to something more just than economic by identifying culture as a form of capital. I need to take into account the consideration of the school success by the amount and the type of cultural capital inherited from the families, beliefs, rather than the measure of individual talent or achievements. The cultural capital includes one's language, the etiquettes, the preferences, and the tastes. So, as a teacher, I must take all this into account. The culture of my students, I must put into consideration. I'm in Nigeria, assuming I got a job in UK. I must know what is happening in UK. The culture of United Kingdom, I must know it. And I must put everything into account. Their language. Which language will best suit these students? For example, if you go to France, it's hardly you see them teaching in English language. Their general language is all about French. And you want to talk in the class, you want to teach, you must teach in the language that they understand. You go to Spain, where Spanish is their major language they use to teach. Like Nigeria, we have many ethnics with different languages. So how can I sort this? Then I must put everything to an account when teaching and when planning. My students are from different ethnics, different backgrounds. How would I take this into account? Their peers, I must put them into account. The kind of people they move with, their families. The family differ from each other. I must put everything to the account. The former is one within the school. Everything that happens in the school, I must put everything into an account. They resume what did they do in between 7:40 and 2:40 must be accounted for. When planning, I must put everything to account. When they go to their classroom, what they do in their classroom, how would I prepare the lesson, how would I do most of the things during the school, and after the school, the informal, I must put everything in account. That is, most of the things, some students are very, very good, but at the end of the day, you see them ending up having D, E's, ungraded, because they affected at home. Some is the language barriers in the class. So that's why I must put everything into an account. I believe with all this I've mentioned, I'll satisfy the question that is out. How may a teacher take account the formal, the informal, and the curriculum when planning and teaching as a teacher? Thank you.